And welcome everybody to Mile High Hockey Live. We are live on a beautiful Monday evening. This is game 4 of round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the Colorado Avalanche versus the Minnesota Wild. Last night, the Avalanche, or not last night, 2 nights ago, the Avalanche fell to the Wild and lost their first playoff game of this year's playoffs. They fell and lost against the Wild 5-1. So I'm just hoping they can bounce right back and, again, just get right back to their game, because last game I just feel like they were missing something. I'm not sure exactly what they were missing, but you could tell they were missing something, and they need to get that drive back in. They need to get that power back in them, and they cannot look down to the Wild. They have to look up to them, because the Wild are a good team, and the first 2 games might have not showed that, but the third game definitely showed that the Wild were out to play and that they're not going to go away easily into the night. So if the Avs can win tonight, they will have a 3-1 lead, and that's pretty promising, but they need to win. They're due. It was not a great game yesterday. Definitely not what I wanted to see, and not what any Avs fan wanted to see. But hopefully tonight they got some good rest and can get right back to their style of game and go back home to Ball Arena with a chance to knock out the Wild and head on to round number 3. Yeah, so tonight we have a new goalie that is starting in net for the Avalanche. Scott Wedgwood started in net every single playoff game, but now tonight the Avs decided to put in the starting goalie of Blackwood instead of Wedgwood. They're putting in Blackwood, so Mackenzie Blackwood is due to start for the Avalanches. Tonight's game is about to get started. We are ready to go. So, who is ready for tonight's game? I sure am. It's going to be an exciting one. I feel like every single playoff game, it's always an exciting one. I mean, really, in the NHL, every game's excited. So I'm ready to go. Puck drop is up next. All right. So we are officially ready to get things started here in game number 4. It is still in Minnesota, as second 2 games of the series are in Minnesota, and after this game it'll go back to Colorado. So again, about to get things started here as puck drop is coming up quickly. Here we go, puck drop on center ice. All of the players are ready to go here at the start of the first period. So the national anthem is happening, and then we are then things will get underway here. The game is a little bit delayed. It's already 8 minutes delayed, but that's normal for the NHL, especially in playoff season. So Minnesota arena is packed, of course. All right, so game, national anthem, finishing up, and then we will be ready to go. Here we go. It's Avalanche, your Colorado Avalanche versus the Minnesota Wild. Coming right up. All right, here we go. We are ready to get things started as the lights turn on and the Avs are about to play. So here we go. All right, here we go again. Your starting goalies first for the Avalanche is Mackenzie Blackwood. He played amazing in the regular season and started the playoffs last night, about midway through the game, and played pretty good. Starting goalie again for the Minnesota Wild is Jess Wallstead. He started most of the games here for the playoffs, and we are ready to go. Nathan McKinnon at center ice, ready to take the draw for the Avs. As here's puck drop, won by the Wild, and that puck will go all the way down into their own zone. So Minnesota collects it behind their own net as they will work it out through neutral ice, batted down by Devon Taves and dumped into the Wild zone. Wild collect it in their own zone and dump it up the boards, and now through neutral ice, here's the Wild. Minnesota dumps it down deep behind the net. That puck chased and won by McKinnon. Here's McKinnon. Drives it across the line, but just offside as he tried to stay on side with everything he had, but he could not. So 19:26 left in the first period as we have our first whistle. It's an offsides on the Avs, so the next faceoff will be right outside of the Minnesota Wild's zone. So here's the faceoff, won by the Avs and goes all the way down into their own zone. So Burns collects it behind his own net and moves it out for Waugh. Waugh dumps it in, but I believe it's another offsides call with 19:12 in the first period here on Game 4. So we will wait for the faceoff here. So there's 2 minutes each for roughing on two players. Ross Colton goes out for the Avs. Number 22 in the Wild go out. So there was just a little scruffle, but that got resolved. So it'll be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Face-off right outside the Wild zone. That face-off won by the Wild, so they collect it in their own zone. And now they work it up and into neutral ice. They'll pass it back and now up into neutral ice. So here we go. They enter the Avs zone with plenty of space. There's a little feed out front, wide of the net. So Avs will collect it with Burns. Here's Brent Burns as he passes up the board for Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon into the Wild zone. He passes it to Natchez. Natchez tried to center it, but got stolen away by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. They will have it and now slowly work it up and out into neutral ice. They will wheel around, and there's a little pass back. Now here are the Wild into the Avs zone. They have it at the point. That puck got poked out by the Avs and all the way into the Wild zone. So here's Minnesota. Minnesota breaks it out. Here are the Wild into the Avs zone on the boards. Now that puck goes behind the net, pressured by the Avs and now stolen away. Here's Nichushkin up the board for the last 50 seconds of the 4-on-4. Here's Makar now. Makar to Kadri. Kadri tried to center that, but no one there up front. So now the Wild will break it out. It's a 1-on-2. Wild move it into the Avs zone, stolen away by Manson. Here's Manson to Makar. Makar moves it to Kadri. Here's Kadri into the Avs zone. And there's a shot on net save. No rebound available. So 26 seconds on the 4-on-4. 17:38 left in the first period as so far I think the Avs are playing better. Just immediately they've kept up with the energy and their defense has done a lot better. So face-off won by the Avs in the Wild zone, and they have it at the point. Here's MacKinnon. MacKinnon works his way to the center. There's a shot. Never got to the net. Now Nelson into the corner, and now he'll work it back up. Gives it to MacKinnon. MacKinnon right to the net. He goes behind the net as he looks for a centering pass. Waiting. There's a centering pass to Taves, but Taves just deflects that puck wide. So here are the Wild. Moves it into the Avs zone. They have it at the point. Now they'll work it deep. Now it's full strength. Here the Wild. They move that puck across, but Avs steal away. Here's Brock Nelson. Nelson across to Colton. Here's Colton. He'll work it up the boards and gets that puck stolen, but the Avs nicely keep it in and dump it deep. Now that puck gets stolen away by the Wild. Here's Minnesota into the Avs zone. Stolen away by the Avs and batted up and out into the Wild zone. Minnesota regroups. That puck goes into the Avs zone, into the corner. There's a fight for it in that corner. Now it gets reversed. And the Avs to the way. Here's the Avs. They dump that puck deep and chase. There's Drury battling for that puck in the corner. Kiviranta also battling. That puck pops up and out for the Wild. Here's Minnesota with 16-16 left in the first. That puck goes rink wide and all the way into the Avs zone. But that will be icing. So with 16:07 left in the first period, the next faceoff will be in Wild zone due to the Wild icing the puck. So still 0-0 here in the early going of this game. So here's the faceoff again in the Wild zone. We will wait for the ref to drop the puck. We're still waiting. Now here's puck track won by the Wild. So here are the Wild as they try to break it out. As pressure, that puck will sneak up and out. So Wild will have to regroup with Kulak. Kulak dumps that puck deep and into the corner. These players are fighting for it. Langenberg fights for it and keeps it in. There's a Chushkin with a shot. That puck almost deflected into the net. Did not. Logan O'Connor battles for that puck behind the net. Kadri tries to get to it. Kulak finally gets to it at the point. There's a slap shot. Wide of the net. Turnaround shot. Also wide of the net. Langenberg just pushes that puck deep. O'Connor trying to get to that puck. Wild come up with it, and now we'll work it out of the zone. Here's Minnesota into the Avs zone. There's a shot. Saved by Blackwood. So 15-17 left in the first. Good couple saves by Wallstead, the Wild's goaltender, and one nice save by Blackwood, the Avalanche's goaltender. So still 0-0 here, almost 5 minutes into this first period, so still very early in this one. So McKinnon will take the draw in his own zone. This is offensive face-off for the Wild. Wild win it up to the point and pass it across. That puck gets slammed around and goes deep. So now McKinnon steals that puck away behind his own net, tries to dump it out, but kept in by the Wild. Now that puck sneaks all the way up and down the ice. No icing. Avs chase for that puck, trying to steal it away in the corner. Can't. That puck gets reversed and will get popped up and out of the zone. And that is icing on the Minnesota Wild with 14:46 left in the first. Avs have 2 shots. Minnesota sitting at 1. So still 0-0. So here's the faceoff in the Wild zone. So here we go. There's 14:46. Faceoff will be redone. And if you are tuning in just now, make sure to like the live stream and make sure to comment live here on Mile High Hockey Live. So here's the faceoff, won by the Avs. They have it at the point. Nathan McKinnon puts that puck on net. Never got to the net, though. So now the Wild look up ice, and they will go into the Avs zone. Dump it across the boards. Avs steal it away. It's a 1-on-1. Here's Natchez. Natchez with speed. There's a shot save. Rebound available. Picked up by the Avs. Tried to get put to Makar. Makar, though, fumbles that puck at the blue line. Now the Avs enter back. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon drives. There's a shot. Rebound available. Avs get to it. Here's Natchez. Natchez pushes it deep for McKinnon. Stolen away by the Wild. Now the Wild trying to exit the zone. They cannot yet, as Avs pressure with 14:05 left in the first. That puck goes all the way down the ice and icing on the Wild. So Avs collect 4 shots. Wild with 1 with 14:02 left in the first. Next faceoff will be in the Wild zone. So again, make sure to comment live here on My High Hockey Live and like and subscribe if you're an Avs fan. Here's the faceoff won by Kulak. There's a shot wide of the net. Rebound available. That puck almost snuck through. Could not. Now there's a battle for it on the near boards here. As that puck gets popped up and all the way out. Hits the back of Kulak, but he retrieves that puck in his own zone. Now he'll try to move it out to Kadri. Kadri dumps that puck deep with 13:39 left in the first. That puck goes up to boards, deflects right to Kadri. Kadri at the blue line just spins and puts that puck in the deep corner. Now the Wild will advance it up and out of the zone. And through neutral ice, here they come. Minnesota is offsides at the blue line. So with 13:24 left in the first, Minnesota gets called offsides as we will go to our first TV timeout. It's 0-0 here in St. Paul, Minnesota's, again, first TV timeout of the game. So, again, on first TV timeout of this game. And, man, I feel like the Colorado Avalanche have been playing a lot better than last game when they fell to the Wild 5-1. I mean, they have just really stepped up their game. A lot more chances. Again, still 0-0. This game could go anyway, but definitely a nice start. So, we're about to get this game back on as almost halfway through the first period. So 13:24 left in the first period as we're about to get back underway. So here we go. Face off, won by the Avs. Moved up and out by Kulak, and now dumped down deep into the corner. Kiviranta chases for that puck. Wild get to it first and try to dump it out. That puck stopped on the boards. Now Kiviranta gets to it. At the point, there's a shot by Manson. Save. That rebound goes bouncing all the way up and out of the zone. So Manson recollects in his own zone. So he'll work it up and boards and out into neutral ice. Here the Avs come. Kelly to Kulak with a shot that deflects up and into the netting. There's a hit by Manson and McCarron on the Wild trying to get a piece of him. Manson explaining to the ref what he did. I didn't see him do anything. It was just it was just a clean hit by Manson. I mean, just some hockey. I do not believe there will be a penalty or any penalties on the play. I think it'll be pretty crazy if there is a penalty on the play. I mean, I just don't see anything that Manson did other than a little scrum. Refs are talking over by the penalty box. I mean, if they call a penalty on the Avs, that is stupid. I mean, the Wild cannot just complain their way into having a penalty. Wow. The play is under review for a major penalty. A 5-minute conduct is about to get called on Manson for a hockey play. I mean, come on. What has the NHL turned into? If they call this a 5-minute major penalty on the Wild or on the Avs, that is insane. They can give him a roughing penalty for 2 minutes, and that would still be a little weird. But a 5-minute major for a little hockey scrap, just be insane. Why are they even reviewing this? So 12:53 left in the first, and Avs or the Wild might argue their little butts to a 5-minute major power play. I mean, come on. So, I mean, at least they're taking their time on this review. I mean, still reviewing it. So what they're reviewing right now is they called a 5-minute major on the Avs, a penalty on the Avs. They're reviewing to see if it will stand as a 5-minute major, if it goes down to a 2-minute minor, or if there's no penalty on the play. We are still waiting. They're still looking at the iPad, and talking to Toronto. So we will wait. Again, 12:53 left in the first period. It is 0-0. So they are about to announce this call. So here they come. So Josh Manson got issued a double minor for 4 minutes. So 4-minute penalty for a hockey scrum. I mean, they say he hit him with the butt end of the stick. He was just trying to punch him. I mean, come on. All right. Well, nonetheless, the Wild will go on a 4-minute power play for apparently arguing with the refs, and then the refs are like, okay, yeah, we'll give you a power play. Well, nonetheless, face-off won by the Wild. That puck does not get collected by the Wild after they won the face-off, so it goes all the way up and down. So they try to enter the zone, but Cam Makar immediately strips that puck, has it behind his net. He'll bounce that puck up the boards and out of the zone. Avs still have it as that puck gets batted down by the Wild and then pushed all the way down now by the Avs. So far, good defense by the Avs, not letting the Wild enter the zone. Now the Wild do. Here they come up the boards. There's a cross-leg pass stolen away by the Avs and pushed all the way up and down. So far, an amazing, almost perfect penalty kill by the Avs, just not letting the Wild set up at all. So here the Wild have it in their own zone as they'll try to work it out. O'Connor pressures the play. So here they come. Through the zone, stolen away by the Avs, but not fully before that puck gets centered. There's a shot, save, rebound, goes to the Avs, and that puck goes all the way up and through the Wild defense. So only 2:50 left on this double minor. 11:39 left in the first period as they try to get set back up. Here's Baldy as he enters the zone and puts that puck deep. Goes over to Tarasenko. Tarasenko battles on the board for the Wild. Almost stolen away by the Avs. Now it is, but that puck does not go fully out. Spurgeon puts it out. Here's Urov to Faber. Back to Urov. And now down low to Tarasenko. Tarasenko behind the net to the boards where Urov sits. Urov makes it up to the point and goes behind the net to Tarasenko on the Wild. Tarasenko behind his own net up to Boldy. Here's Baldy on the far boards at the dot. He walks, he shoots. Saved by Blackwood, and that puck goes and pushed out by the Avs with 2 minutes left in the Minnesota power play and 10:48 left in the first period. So here are the Wild as Johnson moves it for Kaprizov. Kaprizov dumps it for Urov. Urov pushes it up to Faber at the point. Faber goes all the way down behind the net, almost cut off by Kulak, but Tarasenko got to it first. Now there's a battle between Urov and Johnson and Kulak. Now the Wild have it at the point. Here's Faber. Faber down to Tarasenko. Tarasenko back up to Faber. Faber with a slap shot score. What a lucky goal. Wow. Got deflected off an half skate, I believe. So Wild get the first goal of the game with 10:14 left in the first. It's 1-0. Minnesota with the lead. Well, nice little free goal for them all because they got to argue with the refs, but nonetheless, Wild are up 1-0. Got deflected right at net front. Nothing Blackwood could do. So here's the face-off. Center ice, 10:14 left in the first period. Minnesota is up 1-0. Face-off, won by the Wild. That puck goes through the skates of Faber. Now the Wild exit their own zone and into the Avs zone. They have that puck in the corner, stolen away by the Avs. Pushed up the boards for Landeskog. Landeskog drives it to the middle of the net, tries to poke that puck in, cannot. Now the Avs push that puck back deep with Taves. Taves to Landeskog. Landeskog has it in the corner. Pushes it to McKinnon. McKinnon tries to center it right through a stick and all the way down. Avs are just getting a little bit puck unlucky. 9:35 left in the first, so over halfway through the first period. Here's Josh Manson fresh out of the penalty box. Pushed down to O'Connor. O'Connor just pushes it on net. Wallstead plays it and pushes it out. Now it's up to the point to Manson with a shot save. So 19:50 left in the first period. Minnesota's up 1-0. My scoreboard still says 0-0, but needs to update. It is 1-0 Wild with the lead. So they get on the board early here in the first period, and we'll go to another timeout. So, yeah, just an unlucky series of events. An iffy penalty called on the Wild or called on the Avs, and then a goal off of that iffy penalty that was very lucky. I mean, just a slap shot from the point that deflected off a few skates and into the net, so nothing Mackenzie Blackwood could have really done. Just unlucky, But Avs need to get back to their game and fast because the last game, I feel like it got away from the Avs quick. Once the Wild scored about 3 goals, it felt pretty hard to get back. But 1 goal is nothing. The Avs can get back from that easily, but they need to. I mean, if this series gets tied up and they don't win a single away game, it's going to be very rough to get back in after losing 2 games in a row. But 1-0 Wild with that lead. And I don't know why my scoreboard will not update. But we are back. And yeah. So 19:15 left in the first period as we are back and ready to get things started. So here's the face-off in the Wild zone. Puck drop as players get kicked out. Here's Kadri. He'll jump into the draw for Waugh. Face-off won by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. They flip that puck out like always and dump it in. Now in deep. Avs fight for it. Behind the net, they get to it and up to the point. Wild keep it in. They will dump it low. And now the Wild have it on the far boards. Trying to dump it low again. Stolen away by the Avs. Here's Nichushkin who dumps it into the Wild zone. But Minnesota collects it in their own zone. But they fumble that puck. And now the Avs have it. Just another puck goes right through a stick of Waugh. So now Minnesota will enter the Avs zone. Minnesota has only 3 shots. Avs with 10 or 9. Here's Nichushkin. Nichushkin exits the zone and passes it to Waugh, but stolen away by the Wild. Stolen back by the Avs. So here's Kulak in his own zone to Burns. Burns passes it, and there's a shot save. So up to Colton. Colton shot it, but an easy save with 8:14 left in the first. So 8-14 left in the first period. So here's the faceoff, won by the Wild. Minnesota behind, out of the zone, but Avs collect in their own zone and work it up the boards. That puck is going to go all the way down to the corner. O'Connor won that foot race. Now there's a bunch of players right behind the net as they fight for that puck, which is stuck on the boards. Avs get to it, push it up to the point. There's a shot just wide of the net. Big hit by O'Connor as that puck will flip up and all the way out. So that will be an icing call on the Wild. Wild have iced it a lot this game. So 7:43 left in the first period. It's 1-0 Minnesota, and I do not know why my scoreboard just will not update, but it will not. Tried everything. Yeah, I need to change the scoreboard I'm using or something because it's just not working. Here's the faceoff, won by the Avs as that puck gets hit all the way down. Here's Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon to Nelson. Nelson crosses the blue line, dumps it deep, batted down by the Wild. So Wild move it up and out. This game's feeling a lot like Game 3. Avs just can't enter the zone. They just feel like they're giving up after Wild scored one singular goal. 7:13 left in the first period. That puck sitting at neutral ice. As in the Wild will circle around in their own zone. 7 minutes now left in the first. Wild still have it in their own zone. Now they finally dump it out into neutral ice, but cannot connect that pass as it just goes right into the corner. There's a shot by the Wild. Rebound. Fan shot by the Wild. Now Minnesota dumps that puck deep. And now they have it at the point. They'll dump it back deep. Misses the net. Now the Avs trying to get that puck out. Cannot. Absolutely dropping their stick. Finally, Nathan MacKinnon gets to it. Gives it up to Kiviranta. No, the Avalanche cannot play the puck in their own zone. They need to get it out. They can't. Wow. Another shot. Finally, Manson gets to that puck and moves it out. Manson to Natchez. Natchez will hold up at the blue line. He'll wait. Now he throws one towards the net. Gets deflected wide. Kelly behind the net, fighting for it. Now back up to the point, stolen away by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. Minnesota trying to exit the zone, cannot complete that pass, so the Avs will bat it right back in. Puck goes into the Wild bench, and with 5:58 left in the first period, we'll have a whistle. Hand a timeout, because it's been a million times out this game. All right, so we are back here, 1-0 Minnesota with the lead. So we'll wait for the face-off. Yeah, still waiting for face-off here. So it'll be right outside of the Wild zone. Now the face-off is won by the Minnesota Wild as they end up winning more face-offs. So that puck goes up the boards. And here's the Avs with the puck in their own zone. Now the puck pops out and all the way down. Cam Makar has it. Behind his net. And there's a fight for it. Wild win that puck. Now they have it behind the Avs net. They'll push it up to the point. Point to point. Now the Wild work it down and back up. Still the Wild have it at point. Now they'll work it down and back up to the point. Still have it at the point. Now they'll lay it down and yet again back up to the point. Now it's finally stolen away by the Avs. So we have an icing on the Minnesota Wild with 4:48 left in the first period. All right, so here we go. Face-off in Wild zone after the Wild iced the puck. So an offensive zone face-off for the Colorado Avalanche. Hopefully they can win this face-off to get set up, but they cannot win it. So here's the Wild with it behind their net. But Avs steal it away on the boards. That puck goes crawling out to Brent Burns, who will just bat that puck in to the Wild zone. Wild play it into neutral ice. And now into the Avs zone, immediately poked out by the Avs. Oh, here the Wild still with that puck. Now deep into their own zone and behind their own net as they wait for changes. Here are the Wild as they go through neutral ice into the Avs zone, but it's offsides. So 4:08 left in the first period here as it's coming to an end. Minnesota up 1-0. So here's the face-off, won by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. Here's to work it into the Avs zone and dump it deep. Here's the Wild on the boards. Now down low, batted away by Landeskog. What a play. So he will work it out for Taves. Taves to Natchez. Natchez then to the Wild zone as he'll hold up on the boards and go back up to the point. There's a little spin move. There's a shot wide of the net as it works its way all the way up and out for Makar. Here's Makar with 3:42 left in the first. So he will work it out and into the out zone to Nathan McKinnon. Now to Natchez. Natchez to Makar, but it goes off the tip of his stick, but he still has it in the corner. So now he'll work it out to Natchez at the point, but he loses that puck. Now here's the Avs with Landeskog. Landeskog just pushes it back for Makar as there's a change. Here's Kadri. Kadri dumps that puck deep on net, gets pushed by the goalie. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor behind his own net. Now he'll work it up to the boards to the point. Here's a shot. Rebound available for the Avs. A couple players crash, but Wild get to it first. Batted down by the Avs, but it's out. There's a whistle, but it's a high sticking call in the Avs. So 3:02 left in the first period. Wild are leading up this game 1-0. Don't know why. Again, my scoreboard just will not load. So 3 minutes, 2 seconds. There's a neutral zone face-off. We're still waiting for the ref to drop that puck. We've been having troubles dropping the puck. Now the face-off won by the Avs. So dump that puck deep into the zone. Played by the Wild goaltender. Up and out for the Wild. Here, the Wild come into the Avs zone. They put that puck deep into the corner. And now there's a fight for it in the corner. But Avs take it out. Here's Drury. Drury loses that puck in the corner. And now the Avs finally take care of it. Here's Manson. Manson to Kelly. Back to Manson, who puts it out in front, but no one was there. So that puck now in the corner gets reversed up to the point, but almost poked out by the Wild. Now it is poked out. So Avs will reset with Kulak. Here's Kulak. Dumps it for Natchez. That top line's up there. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon tries to pass it, but gets blocked by the Wild. It was Wild when I enter the Avs zone. Avs get to that puck first in the corner, but there's a fight for it in the corners. They're still fighting for that puck as it's jammed on that far corner. Still jammed with 1:45 left in first. Finally, somebody gets it. It's the Wild, but now the Avs immediately steal that puck away. Cannot fully get it out of the zone. Now they finally just dump it up and out of the zone with 1:30 left in the first. Here's the Wild. Wild exit their zone and into the Avs zone, but not fully into the zone before the Avs steal it away. Here's Landeskog. Landeskog just dumps that puck into the Wild zone, and now the Wild dump it into the Avs zone. So here they are. They work it with it on the blue line and now dump it deep. There's a reverse by the Wild. Now a little shot way wide of the net. It was a mile wide. So Wedgwood bounces to Wedgwood, who just covers it up with 1 minute remaining in the first. Well, I can tell you one thing. You're going to die. You're going to pay taxes. And you're going to watch the Wild not be able to shoot the puck. Because they sure cannot. I mean, they have missed the net 90% of their shots. And the one time they actually hit the net, they somehow scored. So face-off in the Wild zone, or in the Avs zone. Face-off. won by the Avs. Pushed up and out. Glove down by the Wild as that puck goes onto the boards. Avs get it in their own zone with 45 seconds left in the first. Now batted up the boards by the Avs, but not fully out. Now it will sneak out, but Wild get to it in their own zone first. Here are the Wild with the puck as they try to dump it out. Can't. 30 seconds left in the first. Now the Wild will get it out of their zone and will dump it deep into the Avs zone. So here they come. There's a centering pass by the Wild, but broken up by the Avs. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon trying to get something happening late here with 10 seconds left. Here they come. And that's offsides. Are you kidding me? That's not offsides. They're going to call it anyway because these refs are blind. 8.9 seconds left in the first period. So face off right outside of the zone, right outside of Minnesota's zone with 8.9 seconds. Hopefully the Avs can win it and try to get something to happen here late. Here's face-off won by the Avs. McCarr just waits, and he'll use the rest of the time. So 2-1. So that will do it in the first period. At the end of the first period, the Wild take the lead. It's 1-0. So I will be back for the start of the second period. Make sure to stay tuned. Again, start of the second period will just be in about 10 minutes or so. So I will be back soon. Thanks for joining. 1-0 Minnesota in Game 4, Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And welcome back, everybody, to Mile High Hockey Live. We are here at the start of the second period, and we are about ready to get started here in the second period. And yeah, pretty good period. The first period, Wild again are up 1-0 after a goal on the power play for them. So hopefully the Avalanche can get right back to their game and, get a goal of their own. They're well beyond due. Only one goal 2 days ago. And now no goals here at the start of the second period. All right. Here's the faceoff. Won by the Avs. Devon Toews back to Cam Makar. Cam Makar passes up to Landeskog. Landeskog dumps that puck deep and into the corner. Wild grab that puck behind the net and push it up through the neutral zone and into the Avs zone. Avs immediately steal that puck away with Cam Makar. Cam Makar just loses that puck, so Wild will go right back into their zone. And there's a centering pass. There's a shot deflected way wide of the net, so McKinnon will grab that puck in the corner. That puck goes deep into the Avs zone. There's gave it away. There's a shot wide of the net. There's a pass up to the point. Another shot wide of the net. No rebound available. Now Brent Burns has it after that puck got dumped out of his zone. He dumps it right back in. Nelson chasing for it. Now Avs trying to keep that puck in. They can't. So Kulak loses the puck, and here the Wild. There's a step-in shot way wide of the net. Now the Wild get that puck still away from him. Here's Wah. Wah pushes that puck all the way into the corner and chases for it. But it's thrown away. Not for long, as here's Devon Toews with space to shoot. There's a save. Rebound available. But Wild pushed that puck up and out of the zone. So now here's Toews. Toews pushes that puck and loops it around. Slips through two people and all the way out of the zone. So now Makar in his own zone, behind his own net with 18:05 left in the second period. As of 11 shot, Minnesota got 4. Here's Toews. Toews through neutral ice and now dumps it deep. Now that puck goes into the corner. O'Connor to Wah. There's a pass in front. All the Avs players hold up by Wild players. So here's Toews. Toews pushes it to Makar. Makar to Kadri. That puck. Now to Makar. Makar works it down into the corner, but that puck it rolls on a little blade of a stick. Wild or Avs still have it. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor gives it to Makar. Makar down low to Burns. There's a pass shot. And the first power play, the Avs will get. So there was a penalty on the Wild. So Avs will get their first power play of the night. Just a minor penalty interference. So with 17:18 left in the second period, the Avs will get their first power play of the night. Well, their power play has not been too good. It has not been too good, but hopefully they can step it up, and because they really need to go here. They really need some momentum. But again, 17:18 left in the second. Avs get that 2-minute power play, so the faceoff will be in the Wild zone to start this power play. Here is the faceoff won by the Wild and dumped all the way down, so Cam Makar will regroup in his own zone. He dumps it for Natchez. Natchez walks in, enters the zone, down the boards, back up to Makar. Makar gives it to Kadri. Kadri back to Makar. Makar steps it for Natchez. Here's Natchez. Down low to McKinnon. Back up to Natchez. And back now up to Makar. Makar steps down low. Gives it to Kadri. There's a pass. Back up to Makar. Now to Natchez. Here's Natchez. Down low. There's a shot. Wide of the net. Now Makar down low to Kadri. Back up to Makar. Makar to Natchez. Natchez waits with it. Back to Makar. Makar. Kadri. Kadri waits. Still waiting. Now down to Landeskog. Back up to Kadri. Kadri feeds it for Makar to McKinnon with a shot over the net and into the netting. So 1:03 left in the power play here. And yeah, there's some good plays by the Avs, but none of them go and lead towards a goal, which the Avs need desperately. 16:21 left in the second. Faced off in the Avs zone. They need to win this. Face off won by the Avs. Goes to the far corner. Kadri is forced to dump that puck deep in. Loses it. Come on. Now skate up all the way out, and Wild still have it. Avs just cannot get that puck. Here's the Wild. They have zone time in the Avs zone. They'll just pass it right back up. Come on. This is the worst power play I've ever seen late. Finally, Cam Makar gets that puck. Gives up to Kadri. Back to Makar. Here's Makar to Natchez. Natchez to McKinnon. McKinnon. Back up to Makar. Makar to Kadri. Now to Makar. Makar at the top. Down low to Kadri. Here's Kadri to Landeskog. Landeskog gives it up to Kadri. Kadri to McKinnon. There's a shot wide of the net. Natchez. Natchez will. He gives it to Makar. Makar with a shot. Rebound. Shot save. And that will do it for the power play as that puck forced out by the Wild. So Wild killed their first power play of the game. Their first penalty of the game. 5:10 left in the second period. Avs just cannot seem to get anything going here in this game. Passed up. Here's Nichushkin. Nichushkin passes it over for Taves. Here's Taves. Taves, that was a centering pass shot save. Wow. There's nothing going good for the Avs in this game. 14:57 left in the second. Nothing is going good again for the Avs. I mean, wow. Face off in the Wild zone. Here's a face off won by the Avs. Back up to the point. There's a shot save. $14.52 left in the second period. Avs have 14 shots Wild with only 4, but somehow they have the 1-0 lead. Here's a face-off, won by the Avs. Wait, shot, save. Rebound available. Avs shoot it, save again. Or that was just wide of the net by the Avs. Here's Nichushkin, tries to push it behind his net. Wall comes up with it, and up to the point. There's a shot, redirected. There's a couple chances. Nothing can go in. Taken up now by Hughes. Hughes dumps it down low, but back low for the Avs. Here's the Avs. Nichushkin shoots. Rebound available. They can't jump on it. Man, the Wild are getting insanely lucky. Here's the Avs. They'll dump it deep. So there's a save by the goalie as it just bounces onto him. 14:05 left in the second. The Avs just cannot get a single bit of puck luck. I mean, come on. They're just so lucky. Puck is just not bouncing good for the Avs. Nothing. I mean, they are just the most lucky team in the world right now. No skill, all luck for the Wild right now. So Here's a faceoff won by the Avs. There's a shot. Deflected up him high. Never got to the net. There's a penalty on the Wild. Avs will get another power play. It's a model penalty for closing his hand on the puck. So you can bat a puck down and leave it, but he just holds it for a long time and then puts it behind his back. So we will wait for the power play as we go to a commercial timeout. All right, here's the Avs. They shoot, they score! Avs score a goal on the power play immediately. They were talking to Quinn Hughes and showed us a little picture. So, just like that, it's tied up. I mean, I couldn't even see it. They were talking to Quinn Hughes and wouldn't show us the dang game, and the Avs score. So, wow. Avalanche are up 1-0, and they wouldn't show us the goal. 1-1. Avalanche score. Stupid broadcast, man. So here's the Avs working up the boards. Now push it down deep. Nonetheless, Avs are up, or it's tied 1-1. Terrible broadcast. ESPN sucks. So it's down low in the corner. Now the Avs break it out. So here they come. McKinnon tries to get that deep. Wild steal it away. Now Natchez steals it away from the Wild as they try to enter the Avs zone. Now it's to Landeskog. Landeskog has it in his own zone to Taves. Here's Taves. Taves waits. Passes it up to Waugh. Here's Waugh. Gives it up to O'Connor or Colton, I believe, but Colton fumbles it, so that puck goes all the way down into the Avs zone. But now there's a fight for it in neutral ice as the Avs push it up there. Wild come away with it, not for long, as the Avs push it right back out of their zone. That's offsides. Now that puck goes to Colton. Colton, drag move shot, almost went in. With 12:20 left in the second period. It is 1-1. So that puck gets floated deep for the Avs. Nice little poke by the Avs. Now, here they go. Avs have it in their own zone. Now stolen away by the Avs. There's a shot. Or stolen away by the Wild. There's a shot. Save. Now that puck trying to get redirected by the Wild. Avs it away. Here's Kiviranta. Kiviranta moves it out. But goes offsides on the Wild. So, I'm going to clear this up. The Colorado Avalanche the Avs they won the they scored a goal, but ESPN was showing us a clip of them talking to a Wild player, so they weren't showing the actual game. So they just cut back and they're like, "Oh, the Avs scored, by the way." Like, I don't care about an interview. I want to see the actual game. 11:30, Avs clogging that neutral zone. So there's sorry, I'm working with some internet issues. I don't know. Fight for it in the corner. They're fighting for it now. Here are the Avs. Avs in their own zone. Try to do a little center ice pass, stolen away by the Wild. Here's Minnesota into the Avs zone with a shot. Nice block by the Avs. That puck goes into the corner. Here's Manson, Josh Manson, working it up and out to Landeskog. Landeskog in the corner. He'll give it up with a slap shot, but Nathan MacKinnon fanned on that puck. Now it's behind the net. MacKinnon gets to it. He tries to center it, but does not succeed, and Wild steal away. Here's Minnesota, but it's offsides on the Wild. So, we are waiting for a face-off as it's offsides again on the Wild. Here's the face-off, won by the Wild. Minnesota pushes that puck in, but Blackwood just gloves it down, and now the Avs push that puck up all the way and down, so it's icing on the Avs with 10:08 left in the second to tie it up 1-1. All right, here's the face-off in the Avs zone. Face-off won by the Wild. Here's Minnesota with a shot over the net. Now, there's a cover-up by Blackwood. So 10 minutes and 1 second left in the second period. We're halfway through this one. It's tied up 1-1. Avs have 20 shots. Minnesota's still sitting at 4. Again, they've had a lot of offensive zone time. They just can't hit the net. They suck at shooting. They can't get a single shot on net. Here's the face-off. Won by the Avs, and now they'll work it up with Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon tries to drive, but now that puck gets collected by the Wild. They'll bat it up and out into neutral ice. So here they come into the Avs zone as they take that puck in the corner, try to pass it up to the point, but Avs steal it away. Here's Devon Toews. Devon Toews with MacKinnon. MacKinnon past the blue line. So he will just find the red line and dump that puck in and deep. Now there's a fight for it behind the boards. Wild come up with it. Here's Minnesota. Minnesota dumps that puck all the way down, but it hits the goalie. So icing. So here they have, they enter Minnesota zone, but that puck just sneaks out. There's a whistle for too many men on Avs. So bench minor on the Avs, so Minnesota gets a 2-minute power play. So Minnesota goes on the power play for too many men on the ice. But I don't know if I trust the refs with that call because the refs are blind. So we're going to go to a TV timeout. All right, we're back. So Ross Colton will sit out. For the Avs, there's too many men on the ice. So, stupid call by the refs because there was too many men on the ice when Makar had his both feet off of the ice before the puck even got touched. But Minnesota with 2-minute power play. Here's a face-off in the Wild zone. As the ref just won't drop the puck. He's just sitting there looking dumb. Finally, the faceoff won by the Avs. Brent burns up the boards. Cannot get it out as the boards just like absorb the speed on that puck. But now the puck up at the point, poked out by the Avs. So, the Avs do get it out. Now, here's Zuccarello to Hughes to Boldy. Moves it in to the Avs zone, but stolen away and pushed right back down. 1:27 left on the power play for the Wild. Now, Wild with Boldy into the zone, but nice poke by Burns to keep that puck out of the zone. So Zuccarello will reset with 1:10 left in the power play. 8:20 left in the second. Now they enter the zone and get deep. Now puck almost stolen away. Now it is, but the Avs just cannot get that puck all the way out of the zone. There's a reversal, goes up to O'Connor, who just bats it out. Great penalty kill so far. 50 seconds left in the power play. 8 minutes left in the second period. Here's the Wild. They'll enter the zone. And they put it up to the point. Now back down low. Now up to the far boards and up to the point. Now the far boards. There's a shot saved by Wedgwood with 26 seconds left on the power play. 7:37 left in the second period. Wild finally record a shot. They've been sitting on 4 shots for over half of this game, and now they finally get their 5th shot on goal. Avs have 20. Here's the faceoff won by the Avs. Manson with it. He will just skate it up and push it all the way out of the zone. 15 seconds left on the man advantage. 7:25 left in the second period. This is their last push up the ice. Here's Faber for the Wild. He will dump it for Johnson. Here's Johnson. Gets to the red line and just dumps it deep. 3, 2, 1. So Wild will not score on the power plays. Here's the Avs. They'll break it up and out. It's 5-on-5. There's a shot wide of the net. And back goes all the way out to Taves, who is way back in his own zone. Now to Cullen. Cullen will enter the zone with McKinnon. Here's McKinnon back. Tried to pass it back, but it got stolen away by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. Minnesota enters the Avs zone. A nice little cutoff. There's a shot through the crease. Never got on net. Now the Avs enter the zone with Landeskog. Landeskog tried to center it. Could not. As it got broken up. So now the Avs with Makar. Makar finds the red line and dumps it deep. As Minnesota gets that puck, dumps it high and over the shoulder of Taves. Now that puck will go into the corner. There's a fight for it with 6:15. Avs come up with it. Here's Cam Makar. Makar enters the zone, gives it up for Natchez. Natchez misses a hit and gives it to Landeskog. Landeskog down low for McKinnon. Here's McKinnon to Landeskog. But nice save. I think the goalie's paralyzed. 5:55 left in the second period. That puck goes all the way down into the Avs zone. Now there's a fight for it. Kadri pushes that puck up the boards to Nichushkin. Nichushkin rumbles through the zone. And come on. 5.5 minutes left in the second period. That puck goes all the way down. No icing for some reason. Now there's a centering ice pass for the Wild, but never got that puck on goal. Now they'll give it up to the point. Here's Minnesota. They will stand around now. They'll shoot it down the ice. And back up top. There's a shot save by Wedgewood. Rebounds available. Call the whistle. Blow the whistle. He covered that. Then the Wild just get it out of his glove. There's another save by Blackwood. These refs are actually blind. You're supposed to call a penalty or call a whistle if the freaking goalie covers the puck. They need to study the rulebook. 4:40 left in the second period. Here's Kiviranta to Kelly. Now back low. There's a fight for it. That puck pops out behind the net as Wild will move it up and out. Big hit by the Avs. Are they calling a penalty on that? Are they calling a penalty on that? So now the refs are calling penalties on NHL hits. What did Parker Kelly do? Kaprizov comes up, he's playing the puck, and there's a hit. A clean hockey hit. And what are the refs doing? Well, I believe they need to lose their positions as NHL refs and get fired from the league because they do not know what the NHL is. I'm pretty sure they got called in and was like, you want to try out being a ref? Never heard of the NHL, but you can still be one because they cannot call a single play. Now, when a goalie covers a puck, now when there's an icing, they cannot call a single play correctly. And then they're calling penalties on NHL hits. Let me explain. Kaprizov comes up on the Wild. He comes up the zone with the puck. He's on the boards. Kelly lays a hit on him. He falls down. Then all the Wild fans stands up and are like, there should be a penalty because every single time a player falls down on the Wild, the fans are going to think it's a penalty because they don't know what hockey is or they don't know what a clean hit is. Then the refs are like, well, I don't know anything about the NHL and all the fans think it's a penalty, so I guess it is. I mean, Come on. If you're going to be a referee, you know how to be one. But nonetheless, we're going to give the Wild all the power plays and Avs 1 or 2. But that's okay. Because luckily the Wild suck at playing hockey and we can still win this game. So here's the face-off in the Avs zone because Minnesota gets a little power play again. Nice job, Avs. Thanks. Maybe Minnesota gave him money or a Pop-Tart. Wild player gets kicked out of the face-off. She'll redo that face-off. Face-off won by the Wild. Pushed up to the point. Here's Hughes. Hughes dangles up the blue line now to Zuccarello. Back to Hughes, still on the blue line. Now down to Kaprizov. Kaprizov goes up to the point. Now Boldy up to the point. Here's Hughes. Hughes steps down low. There's a centering pass, but Avs steal it away and push it all the way down. Avs have 21 shots. Minnesota sitting at 8 with 1:35 left on the Minnesota power play. 3:52 left in the second period. Here's Minnesota. The Wild enter the zone. Here's Kaprizov. Pushes it deep. Now back up for Hartman. Now to Hughes. Hughes down to Zuccarello. Zuccarello back up to Hughes. Now Zuccarello's to Boldy. Boldy shoots off the post. And that puck goes flying up and out of play. 1:07 left in the power play. 3:58 left in the second period. So we'll wait for the whistle. We'll wait for the face-off. Here's puck drop. Wild player gets kicked out again. I don't think they know how to take face-offs or shoot the puck. Here's the face-off. Won by the Avs and dumped all the way down. So 1 minute left on the power play. 3:20 left in the second period. It's tied up 1-1. Here's Hughes. Hughes enters the Avs zone. Beats an Avs player. He walks in, shoots wide of the net. Another shot. Save by Wedgwood. So 47 seconds left as that puck went out of play. It's 3:07 left in the second period. So waiting for the puck drop. It'll be in Minnesota's or the Avs zone. Here's puck drop. Won by the Wild. They step up shot. Misses the net though, and all the way up and out. O'Connor races to that puck. There's Nelson with a shot. Again, they're on the penalty kill. Here's O'Connor. He tries to center it, but gets that puck stolen away with 29 seconds left in the power play. Here's Boldy. Boldy to Kaprizov. Trying to do one more attempt here on the power play. There's Boldy with a shot way wide of the net and all the way down and out. 15 seconds now left on the power play. As here's Faber for the Wild. He'll move it out to Johnson with 7 seconds. That puck goes all the way down, lays on net, and covered with 3 seconds left on Minnesota's power play. 2:24 left in the second period. So, tied up again, 1-1. After basically killed the penalty, there's only 3 seconds left for them to kill. Hopefully they can win this face-off and get it right down low. Down to the Wild zone. Here's face-off won by the Avs. Avs kill the penalty kill and kill the power play and now move it into the Wild zone. Wild steal it away. Here's Minnesota. Minnesota through neutralize. There's a shot fanned on it as Avs strip that puck away. Bounces through a couple of players and all the way down into Minnesota's zone with 2 minutes left in the second. Here's the Wild. They dump it deep. Now Makar. Makar behind his own net. Gives it to Landeskog. Landeskog waits. Now gives it to Natchez. Natchez just dumps it deep into the corner. Lays a check behind the net. Wild still have it. Avs trying to steal away from them. Can't. So here's Minnesota. Minnesota works it up the boards. Gains their headline and dumps it deep. Now it's fought for on the boards. Landeskog and Taves is in there with a few Wild players. Avs get to it. Dump it up and out of the zone. Now, here is the Wild. Wild dump it up the boards and all the way down. Are they not calling icing? Okay. There's a shot off the stick of Blackwood. McKinnon got nailed with a stick. He's got a bloody nose. There's blood pouring everywhere. Did the puck hit him? 1:07 left in the second period. Nathan McKinnon is down with a bloody nose. I believe he got hit with the puck. He just took the puck to the mouth. There's blood all over his jersey and visor and everywhere. Jeez. So the puck just goes and hits him right in the nose. Wow. That must have hurt bad. So 1:07 left in the second period. Nathan McKinnon went into the locker room. I'm sure he's just getting evaluated. He'll be back. Just going to suck for a while. So, face-off should be in, I don't even know where. Hopefully in the Wild zone. Getting just over a minute left in the second here. It's 1-1. Here's the face-off, somehow in the Avs zone. Still waiting for the ref to drop the puck. He just is refusing to, I guess. Now he finally drops it, one by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. At the point, they'll work down low behind the net. They'll reverse it with 1 minute remaining. Here's the Wild. Wild trying to work it down. Now back up to the point. And down low, hit the netting with 49.5 seconds left in the second. So, this period coming to an end. Avs get a goal to tie up this game earlier in the second period. Now, here's the faceoff won by the Avs as they will dump that puck down. Wild take care of that puck in the neutral zone and now pass it into their own zone as they'll wait and wait and wait in their own zone and still waiting. Finally, they get out into neutralize. Avs immediately steal it away. Here's Nichushkin. Nichushkin dumps that puck deep. Now there's a fight for it. in the corner. Wild come up with it. 19 seconds left in the second. Here's Minnesota. Minnesota moves up. There's a shot. Save. Now rebound available. There's a slap shot. Another save. Another shot wide of the net. 4, 3, 2, 1. So that will do it for the second period. It is all tied up 1-1 here in game number 4 of round number 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Make sure to stay tuned for the third period. I'm going to take an intermission break, and then I will be back for the start of the third period. Yeah, again, make sure to stay tuned because this one is a absolute thriller, all tied here in game 4. Welcome, everybody, to Mile High Hockey Live. We are ready here for the start of the third period. I think the Avs are ready to finish this game, win, go back to Colorado, and win the series. Here's a face-off won by the Wild. But the Avs steal it away and poke it deep into the Wild zone. Now it's in that corner. And push deep. But Wild get to push it and clear it all the way out. Now that puck goes behind the net. Avs trying to get it out of the zone, can't. Now it's behind the net. They work it up, but still can't get it out. As there's a shot wide of the net by the Wild from the point. Now the Avs will get it out. Finally, as it is icing on the Colorado Avalanche. So it'll go back to it'll be back to the Avs zone. Here's the faceoff won by the Wild. It's at the point. Now they dump it down. Now they dump it down deep. It's fought for. Avs win that puck battle and dump it down and all the way down for another icing with 19 minutes left in the third period. Here's the faceoff won by the Avs as they try to get it out. Cannot get it fully out. Now it's behind the net, but there's a delay off sides on the Wild. So here's the face-off. Right outside of Minnesota's zone. Face-off won by the Avs. Here's the Montaves. Works it up the boards. And all the way down. Goalie plays it behind his own net. Avs tries to steal it away. Can't. Now they do, as it got turned around almost to Colton, but he could not handle that puck, so wouts it away and dump it deep into the Avs zone. Brent Burns chases for that puck. Kulak gets to it first. There's a battle for it on the wall. Waugh hands it out to Kulak. Kulak dumps that puck deep, takes a funny bounce on net, played into the corner. Now there's a fight for it in the corner, but Wild take it away and out of the zone into neutral ice and finds the red lines and dumps it deep. Now, here's Nechushkin. Nechushkin enters the zone. There's a shot save. Kept alive on the point. Manson with a shot from the point. He almost gets to that puck, but a diving play by a Wild player to push it out. So now the Avs have it behind their own net with Manson. Manson loses that puck. There's a steal. There's a shot. Rebounds available. Avs trying to steal it away. There's another shot. Another shot. What a couple few saves by Wedgwood or Blackwood as he was falling down. Wild still have it. Now they push it deep. Back into the corner for the Wild. Now behind the net. There's a wraparound chance, but nice save by Blackwood. Finally put out by the Avs of Manson. But Wild still have it in their own zone. Now they enter back into the Avs zone and put it deep with 17 minutes left in the third. Wild steal it away, or Avs now finally steal it away. That puck goes down into the Wild zone. Nice pressure by the Avs trying to steal that puck away. Can't. Wild exit the Avs zone and find the red line. Dump that puck deep. But I believe it caught a piece of the netting and is out of play. Here's the faceoff at center ice, won by the Wild. Wild tried to push it in, but batted out by the Avs. And now the Avs with Landeskog push it down deep. Landeskog chases down the puck. He gets to it. And we'll push it up to the point. Here's McCarr with a shot over the net. Now that puck gets pushed out of the zone, but Tay still has it in his own zone. Now he pushes it into center ice, and that puck bounces off the board to Minnesota. Minnesota enters the zone, but stolen away by McCarr. McCarr passes it back to Taves. Here's Taves, down to McCarr. Here's McCarr, through center ice, into the Wild zone. He tries to spit a flew Wild players. That puck battled in front, but Wild end up with it and dump it deep. Here's Burns, who's going to dump that puck all the way down. And now Wild secure that puck behind the net. Avs steal it away. Into the zone with Colton, who loses that puck, but now still have it with Waugh. Waugh in the corner to Colton. Back to Waugh in the corner. Here's Waugh. Enters the zone. There's a shot. Save. Still loose now. Saved by Wallstead with 15-16. Left in third. It's 1-1. Minnesota with 15 shots. Avs with 22. Here's the faceoff won by the Avs. Goes down low. Behind the net of the Avs zone. Wild have it. They center it. There's a shot. Another save by Blackwood. What a couple of saves by Mackenzie Blackwood to keep this game all knotted up at 1 apiece. So, nice couple of saves by Mackenzie Blackwood to keep this game all tied up as the faceoff will be in the Avs zone. All right, so here's the faceoff. .14:58 left in the third. Here's the faceoff won by the Avs. Devontae is behind his own net. Pushes that puck out. Meant for Kiviranta. He gets that puck. Kelly gets to it in the corner. Now to Drury. Drury behind the net. All the way around to the point where Cam McCarr sits. Cam McCarr out front. There's a shot. Diving shot. But never got on net. Cam McCarr waits. Another shot. That deflects over the net. Now the Wild come up with it. But Manson at the blue line pushes it back in. But now Avs players go for a change and Wild players. So with 14:22 left in the third, it's 1-1. Now Wild dump it deep, but they toss it over the glass. So behind the net, they toss it over the glass. So it's with 14:14 left in the third. We'll go to another whistle blown. So coming back here for Game 5, that's on Wednesday. It is in Colorado. So yeah, make sure to return for that game. Here's the faceoff won by the Avs. But the Wild steal it away. Watch out. Here they come. But Avs steal it away with McKinnon. McKinnon dumps it out. Now that puck goes behind the net. It's bouncing. Avs almost, they do steal it away behind the net. Here's Landeskog to McKinnon with a shot. Missed the net. Manson steps in to keep that puck in the zone, but Wild will move it up the boards and out of the zone and now deep into the Avs zone. But that puck goes into the bench. So with 13:43 left, we have a whistle blown. We'll go to a TV timeout. So stick around. A little TV timeout. I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, I'm back. As we are ready to get things back and started here in game number 4 of round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. If the Avalanche can pull off a win tonight, and then on Wednesday, if they win, that will be the end of the series. So 13:43 left in the third. So here's a face-off at center ice. Face-off. Won by the Avs. Colin grabs it and pushes it all the way into the zone. Now it's behind the net. Played by Wallstead. Avs steal it away. They center it. There's a shot. Rebound available. Waters could not get on it. Here's Kent McCarr. McCarr down to Nelson. Back up to McCarr. McCarr pressured, but he finds some space. He shoots over the net. Now Nelson with a shot. That went wide. Waugh now. Waugh moves it up the boards. Gives it to Taves. That puck goes into the corner for Nelson. Back up to Devon Taves. Taves pushes it for Waugh. Waugh with a rebound. There's a shot. Star! Ross Colton with the go-ahead goal. And the Colorado Avalanche are up 2-1 here in the third period. What a goal by Colorado Avalanche with 13-0-4. So there you go. Just like that, Colorado Avalanche are up 2-1. There you go. Face off by the Wild. Wild. In their own zone, they move it up and all the way down. So that will bring icing with 12:52 left in the third. So Ross Colton gets the go-ahead goal. Your Colorado. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me, but I'm having some issues with the live stream. I've had this happen before. It's just glitching a little bit, but I'm back. As In just a second, I'll start streaming the game. It's still 2-1, as with the... Never mind. Just as I was saying that the Avs had the 2-1 lead, Minnesota scores, so it is now 2-2 with 10:45 left in the third. Wow. So, still waiting for everything to work. This is my stream is just being very glitchy, but nothing is working right now. Sorry. It's 2-2. Wild just scored. I am desperately trying to get things to work. Stuff is being very slow for some reason. I don't even know if you can hear me. But I'm trying to get everything back up and working. Still waiting for my stream to work. Sorry. Still waiting. Nothing is working. I don't even know if y'all can hear me. But it's tied 2-2. Yeah, again, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I am still waiting for the stream to work. Again, I am having a bunch of technical difficulties here. But hopefully everything will work now. So I'm trying to get the scoreboard back up. And if I can get that up, then we should be rocking and rolling. But yeah, sorry. There's 8:40 left in the third. It's still 2-2, and I will be play-by-play announcing the game very shortly once I get everything working. The Avs just scored. Parker Kelly with the go-ahead goal. After the Wild tied it, Avs score is 3-2. So Colorado with a goal. There you go. Still waiting for things to load, but Colorado is up. It's Parker Kelly with the first of his playoffs. Wow. Avs are up 3-2. Don't know if y'all can hear me. Probably not. But there's some bad news and good news. Good news, Avs are up 3-2. They just got a leading goal. Bad news. my I'm back. Sorry, my fire alarm just went off. My fire alarm's having issues and it keeps going off. But still 3-2. Avs are up. 6:15 left in the third. I am desperately trying to get everything working. We've been having so many issues today. I'm so sorry. But I am really trying to get things working. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But yeah, Avs are up 3-2. Sorry you missed that third goal, and I was trying to get things set up. Hopefully it works this time. I hope. I want a really old computer. It's just super slow. So 6 minutes left in the third. Avs are up 3-2. So I'm trying to get my scoreboard up and everything, and then we'll be good to go. If it works, it might not. Okay, we have something that finally popped up. This is good news. Very good news. Let's get this full screen. Okay, so we are officially back. I hope everything seems to be working. I think it is. But there's 5:05 left in the third period. The Avs scored a go-ahead goal that you all saw, and it was 2-1. Then the Wild came back and scored. You all did not see that because my stream is down, but that happened. And then the Avs scored again when you were gone. So it is 3-2. Your Colorado Avalanche has the lead. There's a whistle blown right now. 4:58 left in the third. We are officially back and rolling here. Everything seems to be working. So here we go. Face off in the Avs zone. Here's face off, won by the Avs. Here's Kulak. Kulak dumps it deep, and they will all change. Now the Wild enter back in, but immediately stolen away by the Avs and pushed out. So here's the Wild with the puck in their own zone. 4:30 left in the third period. Here's Minnesota working it out, but that's going to go in to the crowd with 4:28 left in the third period. Your Colorado Avalanche are up 3-2 as we're going to go to a little timeout break. Yeah. For the people that have been tuned in the whole time, I don't really know what the stream looked like. I'm sure it was going in and out because my what's it called? My stream just kept going out. And it, for some reason, yeah, it just kept going out. Yeah, I'm sure y'all just saw like a black screen or something like that. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it was just black for a while, it looks like. Sorry about that. But we are back. All right. Well, thanks for everybody that is tuned in live right now. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, but right now we're on an ad break. Your Colorado Avalanche are up 3-2. If you are tuned in live, make sure to like the live stream. It helps me out a lot, and it helps me find new viewers that would love to watch some Colorado Avalanche hockey. And then subscribe. I'm going live every single playoff game for the Colorado Avalanche, and make sure to comment live. I'll be responding to all the comments, and super cool to see y'all, talk. But we are about ready. We are about ready to get things back and started here. So here we go. We are back, we are live, and we are ready to get things rolling with 4:28 left in the third period. Face-off is right outside of the Avs zone. Nathan McKinnon will take the face-off for the Avs. Here's a face-off won by the Wild. Minnesota enters the Avs zone as they flip it in and try to get it deep, but fanned on by the Wild. So here is the Wild. They push that puck in deep, and it's fought for in the corner. In that far corner, Wild get it. They have it behind the net. They try to center it. It goes all the way up to the point. There's a shot wide of the net. Hit the netting, so out of play. 4 minutes exactly left in the third period, as if the Avs can keep this lead for 1-2 more minutes, I am guessing you will see the Minnesota Wild's goalie get pulled, as they are down by a goal. But, still at least 1, maybe 2 minutes before they need to think about that. There's still plenty of time in this one. So hopefully the Avs defense can hold up. So the faceoff is in the Avs zone as Avs win it. So they chip that up and out, but not fully out before the Wild get a shot off the point. Now the Avs get it, and we'll get it fully out. Here's Landeskog. Landeskog gets to the blue line and dumps it in the corner, and then he races and gets to be the first one to it. He's going to dump that deeper around for Nelson. Never gets to him before the Wild steal it away. Here's Minnesota. Minnesota dumps it down and deep. And now, here are the Avs. Avs find the red line. Dump it deep. Kiviranta is going to chase for that puck in the corner. Nice hit by Kiviranta. That puck almost pops loose. As that puck now goes across ice as Wild are trying to get it out. Haven't got it out yet. Stolen away by Kelly. There's a turnaround shot. Now Manson puts that puck deep as it goes to Drury. Here's Drury on those far boards. Stolen away by the Wild. 3 minutes left in the third period. Here's the Wild. As they enter the zone, start watching for the goalie to be pulled as that puck goes into the far corner into the Avs zone. Now goes wide. Kelly finds that puck and will lightly dump it out with 2:45 left in the third. Again, start watching that goalie. They could pull it with some zone time. Now the Wild dump it deep. Avs, though, push it almost out of the zone, but not fully out. That puck goes behind the net. Cam McCarr pushes that puck up the wall, and it trickles out. Here's the Wild in their own zone. They're starting to get desperate. So here they come through the neutral zone into the zone, but not fully into. So now they will dump that puck up deep and into the Avs zone with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third. Here's a shot. Wide of the net. Another shot. Rebound. Save all by Wedgwood. There's exactly 2 minutes. The Avs get it out. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor getting protected on the boards. He's just trying to kill some time. Less than 2 minutes left in this third period. I'm guessing with some zone time here, the Wild could pull their goalie with 1:45 now left in the third. There the goalie goes. So goalie has been pulled, and the extra attacker for the Wild have came onto the ice. As Wild dump that puck deep. Avs almost get to it, but Wild get to it behind the net. Brent Burns pushes that puck out and almost crawls all the way out, but they're not fully out before the Wild dump that puck deep. 1:25 left in the third. Now puck gets shot at the net, deflected wide. Now Taves with a backhander. It's going to roll, but not going to hit the net, so it'll be icing with 1:14 left in the third period. As Avs are going to start shooting for that empty net to try to steal this game away. Avs 32 shots, Wild sitting at 20 shots on goal, and Wedgwood with a couple great saves right before that whistle to keep this game 3-2 lead for the Avs. Still plenty of time for the Wild to try to get something going. Hopefully this Avs defense can hold up. Again, 1:14. Minnesota will end up taking their timeout. So Minnesota takes a timeout. So that gives Minnesota time to talk over things and Avalanche time to talk over things. Really, I think the strategy for the Avalanche is win the faceoffs, kill as much time as you can, and get the puck down the ice. Because these faceoffs are the most important thing for the Wild right now. But if the Avs can just win basically all these faceoffs, they will be set for sure. So yeah, it all hinges on who wins the draw. The plays will change completely depending on which team wins the draw. So there's 1 minute and 14 seconds left in game number 4. Again, if the Colorado Avalanche can win this, they have a chance to, on Wednesday, go back to Ball Arena and win the series. So here's the faceoff in the Avs zone. Because we're waiting for puck drop. Wild player gets kicked out of the draw. So Boldy moves in instead of Hartman, which is very good for the Avs because Hartman's a good face-off winner. Now here's face-off won by the Avs. Devon Toews tries to get it out. It deflects off a stick. He couldn't get it out. Now Landeskog tries to get it out. It's pressured at the point. It rolls out of the zone, but not too far out. 1 minute left in the third period. Wild just dumped that puck in deep. Wedgwood gives that puck up for Toews. Toews pushes that puck up the board, but it goes out of play with 54.4 seconds left in the third period. Again, Avs had 32 shots. Minnesota sitting at 20. So there's a draw to the left of Blackwood. So Hartman will get another opportunity to win the faceoff. Hopefully the Avs can win this. Devon Toews really needs to win this. Here's the faceoff won by the Wild. It's at the point. Push down deep. Wild or Avs get to that puck in the corner. There's a fight for it. Goes up to the point. There's a lot of space for the Wild to shoot. That was wide of the net. 40 seconds. Natchez steals it away. Gives it up to McKinnon. McKinnon shot stars. Nathan McKinnon will most likely seal this game away with 32.6 seconds left in the third. The Colorado Avalanche are up 4-2. So if they keep this lead, they will take a 3-1 lead and go back to Colorado with a chance to win the series and beat the Wild in round 2. So I do believe that will pretty much do it here in Minnesota. Still 32 seconds. Don't even know if the Wild are going to try to pull their goalie, but here's the faceoff at center ice. Faceoff won by the Wild. Here's Minnesota. Immediately the goalie's going to leave the ice. So they're going to pull him for the last 30 seconds, hopefully trying to get 2 goals. Here's a little centering pass. Almost went in the net. Blackwood starving to keep that out. He does with 17.9 seconds. Wild had a great chance there, actually. But now the time is really, really, really running low here for the Wild. If they want to get 2 whole goals in 17 seconds, that'll be about as close to a miracle as you can get. Well, here we go. 17.9 again. Left in the third. Face-off in the Avs zone. Here's the face-off. Won by the Wild. Wild have it behind their net. 10 seconds left. That one thrown out in front. Gonna go all the way down the ice and star! Yet again, the Avs score on an empty net. So that will officially seal the deal with 7.3 seconds left in this hockey game. Your Colorado Avalanche are up 5-2, and they will head back to Ball Arena with a 3-1 lead in this series. Just like that, the Colorado Avalanche win Game 4 after a rough Game 3 loss against the Wild. It was 5-1. Avs come steaming back with a 5-2 victory. Here's face-off, won by Avs 4, 3, 2, and 1. And your Colorado Avalanche have dismissed the Wild in a 5-2 victory. It was a grueling game, but nonetheless, the Colorado Avalanche have won. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's the final score of 5-2 in game number 4 of round number 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, I will be live again Wednesday at 6 p.m. for Puck Drop. It'll be back in Ball Arena. The Avs will have a chance to sweep the not sweep the Wild, but win the series against the Wild. Thanks you so much for tuning in. That will just about do it for me. Thank you all so much. See you later.